Throughout history, women have had to fight to prove that they are just as capable as men. For centuries, women have led armies, fought bravely, and often dominated their enemies in combat. Here are some of the most remarkable warrior women in history. Katalon, the Mongol wrestler. Katalon was a warrior, military advisor, and the great-great-granddaughter of Genghis Khan. Although she was highly skilled in horseback riding and archery, it was her wrestling prowess that made her a national pride. Marco Polo even mentioned her wrestling talent in his writings. In Mongol culture, wrestling was a revered sport, with victories believed to be blessings from the gods. Unlike most wrestling competitions, there were no weight classes, and Katalon never lost a match. She declared that she would marry any man who could defeat her, but if he lost, he would owe her 100 horses. Consequently, she amassed 10,000 horses, but no husbands. Today, Katalon is still celebrated in Mongolia, with traditional wrestling outfits designed to prove the wrestler is not another female warrior. The Trung sisters of Vietnam, Trung Trắc and Trung Ngoai, are two of Vietnam's most celebrated heroines. In 40 CE, they led a massive rebellion against the oppressive rule of the Han Dynasty of China. With 80,000 followers, they drove the Chinese out of Vietnam, achieving several impressive feats of bravery, such as killing a man-eating tiger and inscribing their war proclamation on its hide. The Trung sisters selected 36 women, including their mother, as generals. Although their rebellion was eventually quashed after 3 years, their legacy lives on in Vietnam, with many seeing them as symbols of national pride and resistance. Tomo Goen, the samurai warrior. Tomo Goen is an iconic figure in Japanese history, known as a legendary samurai woman who fought in the civil wars of the 12th century, or renowned for her beauty, bravery, and combat skills. She was a formidable warrior capable of defeating any opponent. In 1181, she decapitated 7 enemy warriors in one battle. In 1184, she led 300 men against an army of 6,000, surviving against overwhelming odds. When her commander and husband wanted to retreat, Tomo charged into the fray, beheading the worthiest opponent. Her fate after the war remains unknown, but her legacy is honored in Japan through monuments, plays, and festivals. Nakano Takeko, the unyielding samurai. Nakano Takeko was a unique and formidable warrior. Adopted at 6 by a master samurai, she was rigorously trained in hand-to-hand combat for 15 years. When civil war erupted in Japan in 1868, Nakano stood ready to fight. As the imperial army, armed with guns, descended on her home of Aizu with 15,000 soldiers, she took up her naginata alongside 5,000 traditionalist samurai. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, Nakano and her hand-picked squad of 30 women defended the castle valiantly. Even as soldiers broke through, Nakano managed to dodge bullets and kill 6 soldiers before being fatally shot. In accordance with her wishes, her sister beheaded her to ensure an honorable burial. Today, Nakano is honored with an annual festival in the Aizu region, Queen Lakshmi of Jhansi. Queen Lakshmi was a remarkable figure in 19th century India. Educated and skilled in horsemanship and swordsmanship, she stood out in an era when such attributes were rare for women. In 1853, when the British Empire attempted to annex her kingdom of Jhansi, she resisted. After her diplomatic efforts were dismissed, she formed and trained a co-ed army, joining the Indian Rebellion of 1857. the Defiance of Boda. Boda, the Celtic queen, led a fierce rebellion against the Roman Empire in 60 CE. After her husband, King Prasutagus of the Iceni tribe, died, the Romans seized her throne, flogged her, and raped her daughters. Enraged, Boudicca united various tribes and led a rebellion that burned 2 Roman cities to the ground, killing up to 80,000 people. Despite being outnumbered, her forces fought with unmatched ferocity. When the Romans eventually quelled the rebellion, Boudicca and her daughters took their lives to avoid capture. She remains a national hero and a symbol of justice in Britain. Jeanne Haset, the butcher's daughter. Jeanne Haset, originally known as Jeanne Lane, became a symbol of bravery during the siege of Beauvais in 1472. At just 18, she helped defend her city against an invading army. As the town's defenders began to lose hope, Jeanne seized a hatchet, attacked a soldier attempting to raise a victory flag, and threw him into the moat. Her actions inspired the townspeople to continue their resistance, ultimately driving off the attackers. To this day, Beauvais holds a parade in her honor, celebrating her courage and tenacity. Tamiris, the fierce queen. Tamiris was the ancient queen of the Masajatai tribes in Central Asia. When her son, Spargapises, was captured by Cyrus the Great of the Achaemenid Empire, she demanded his return. Cyrus ignored her, leading to Spargapises' death. Enraged, Tamiris vowed revenge and challenged Cyrus to a battle that Herodotus described as the bloodiest ever fought between foreign nations. Tamiris defeated and killed Cyrus, then dipped his head in blood to fulfill her promise. Her story is a testament to a mother's love and unyielding strength. Laskarina Bouboulina, the Greek admiral. Known as the Greek Joan of Arc, Laskarina Bouboulina played a crucial role in the Greek War of Independence against the Ottoman Empire. By the time the revolution began in 1821, Bouboulina was 50 with 6 children and twice widowed. She inherited her second husband's fleet and transformed it into a formidable force. She was the first to raise the banner of revolution, smuggled food and weapons, and commanded her fleet in numerous sea battles. Her strategic brilliance and fearless leadership made her an integral figure in the fight for Greek independence. Queen Amina of Zazzau. Queen Amina ruled the province of Zazzau, modern-day Nigeria, in the 16th century. Trained extensively in military strategy and combat from a young age, she was named heir apparent and joined the royal cabinet at 16. Upon her brother's death, she ascended to the throne and led her 20,000-strong army to expand her kingdom's territory to its largest extent. Known for her aversion to traditional marriage, Amina would take a soldier from each conquered army as her temporary husband before having him executed. Her leadership and military prowess are legendary. Wana Azurduy de Padilla, the South American rebel. Born in 1780, Wana Azurduy was a South American guerrilla military leader. Orphaned at a young age and sent to a convent, her rebellious nature soon saw her expelled. She joined the fight against Spanish rule alongside her husband, Manuel Padilla, eventually rising to the rank of lieutenant colonel. Wana's dedication was unparalleled. She once fought while pregnant, delivered her baby, and returned to battle with her newborn strapped to her back. After Argentina's independence, she retired, but remained a symbol of defiance. A statue of Wana now stands where one of Columbus once did, honoring her legacy.